Hi, I'm Saida Garrett, co-writer of Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, and you're listening to Rainbow Country with Mr. Mark Tara.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the persons appearing on the program.
Today on Rainbow Country, my Big Brother Canada Season 10 coverage begins, and on this episode, the first evicted house guest, Melina Mansing. My one-on-one with host and executive producer, Arissa Cox. Plus, I catch up with Tina Thistle from last year's historic Season 9, which crowned North America's first Black male winner. That and more on episode 291, so stay tuned. The Gay Talk Radio right here on Rainbow Country.
Hi, this is Carol Pope.
Hi, I'm Garrett Conley, author of Boy Erased, a memoir.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Segato.
Hi, I'm Gord Depp with the Spoons. You're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
Well, hello and welcome to a brand new journey through Rainbow Country. As I like to call it, a little gay radio show working to give voice to the LGBT community and beyond. And as always, I am your tour guide through Rainbow Country. I'm producer and host, Mark Tara. By the way, Rainbow Country originates from CIUT FM in Toronto and now proudly in syndication on 12 outlets across Canada. So, from coast to coast to coast. Whether you're listening in the Yukon, British Columbia, the prairies, the east coast of Canada in Newfoundland, as well as Ontario, even down to Buffalo, New York, and online. Well, thanks to you tuning in, streaming, downloading, but ultimately listening. Together, we continue to build Rainbow Country into a nationally syndicated gay radio show, a #1 LGBT podcast on Podomatic.com's Gay and Lesbian chart, as well as being recognized as Canada's #2 LGBT podcast on Feedspot.com. So today, my Big Brother Canada Season 10 coverage begins with the season's first evicted house guest, Melina Mansing. I also chat with host and executive producer Arissa Cox, who, by the way, is nominated for a Canadian Screen Award for Best Host. Actually, Big Brother Canada is nominated for 5 Canadian Screen Awards, including Best Reality TV Series. Plus, I catch up with Tina Thistle from last year's historic Season 9. We'll talk about her Big Brother Canada experience, her clothing line, Best Kind Apparel, and more. Plus an hour or two, music from LGBT artists, independent artists, voices that we've come to know and love in classic disco, classic 80s, classic house, and on this episode I'm featuring some classic Canadian new wave, some Canadian indie rock, and a spotlight on queer Latin artist, Thiago. So when I return my one-on-one with executive producer and host of Big Brother Canada, Arissa Cox.
Bill 7, to ban discrimination in employment, government services, and housing, based on a person's sexual orientation, was up for a vote at Queen's Park. Most NDP and Liberal MPPs supported the bill, but without some progressive Conservative legislators backing, a divisive split could rack the province. 4 PCs decided to break party ranks to vote with their conscience and support Bill 7. Cabinet Minister and MPP Dennis Timbrell did it to show solidarity for his beloved brother, the well-known drag queen Rusty Ryan. And for me, a gay politician who was not yet out, I had to take a stand. We were known as the Gang of Four. I'm former Cabinet Minister and MPP Phil Gillies. The date, December 2nd, 1986, when LGBT rights came to Ontario.
Hi, I'm Cameron Bailey, Artistic Director and co-head of TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival. You're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
Cox, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am well. Okay, let's get going. Season 10, Big Brother Canada, 60 new faces.
Yes.
Retro and modern inspired games. What can you share about the theme for Big Brother Canada Season 10?
Well, okay, first of all, the fact that we're here at Season 10, I just have to thank all of the lucky stars, all of the people who want to see this show and enjoy this show, and all the people who make this show. It's such a big deal to get to 10 in Canada. It's so unique, and we're so grateful for that. The other thing is, you know the show very well, and it exists on many levels. It's a game within a game within a game within a game, right? It's the game of figuring out how to live without your phone, without your streaming services and TV and movies and music and all the things that you're normally used to, all the trappings of modern life. That's part of the game. The game of actually competing in all kinds of different challenges, trivia, skills, physical, luck of the draw, all of these kind of competitions that we throw at these house guests. That's a game. There's a social game. Are you welcome in any room you walk into? Do you walk into a room and everyone stops talking? That game of are you in the clique? Are you out of the clique? Are you an underdog? Are you dominant? That game. And then of course there's the strategic game, the actual counting of votes and figuring out where you need to land to always maybe be that swing vote, or ride really hard with an alliance and still make it to the end and win. And then of course the overarching game is get to the very end and get all the people that you may have hurt or stabbed in the back to vote for you to win a bunch of money. So there's so many games, and I think just leaning into that and being yes, this is the greatest game show on earth. And here's why. I think that is a really strong theme for 10 years here in Canada.
Well said. Well said. You are an executive producer now of Big Brother Canada.
Yes.
Last year, season 9, I believe last year was your first year being an executive producer, one for the history books, crowned North America's first Black male winner into Sean Carter Newman. What are your thoughts on the historic aspect of season 9 of Big Brother Canada? Well, I think, we both, and tell me if this is presumptuous, but I feel like we both really wanted it to land. When you try to swing for the fences and say you want to, diversity has always been important to Big Brother Canada, make no mistake. But to actually push it to the point of being a leader in the industry, and I don't mean just in Canada, but I mean North America, I think to me it wasn't a risk. It made complete sense. But to other people, it could have been seen as a risk. But the fact that we came together in terms of our production team and our network, and then even all the fans joining in to understand what we were trying to do, I will never take that for granted. That was a leap that was required at the time. And here's the thing. Even 5 years from now, I want to look back and I could say something about it and people are like, what are you talking? Who? What? Who? I want it to not be a big deal. I want to normalize seeing so many different flavors and colors and identity on television that you don't think twice about that.
And so it won't be a big deal in the future. That's what I tell my daughter, who's 12 years old, and she's dabbled in a little Big Brother, a little bit of Survivor, but she hasn't watched like a full season yet. But she knows about all of like how the behind the scenes work. And she's like, yeah, this is going to be nothing soon. And I'm like, I really hope so. I really hope so. And when we came out with our plans for the season and then watching it go week by week, and it just be such a good season, like objectively a good season in terms of gameplay, in terms of stories, in terms of who our house guests were, and the twists and turns of the game. So many surprises, things you thought if we wrote it, for example, I don't know if you remember last year where Jed uses his veto on his girl, gets voted out, finds out that there's a twist that he could win his way back into the game. Tara gets evicted. And if you had written it, you would say, okay, Jed's got to go in because he's going to go in and find out that his girl has been, plotting against him for a long time. And he's going to look, at his best friend in the face who just voted for him to leave. And it's going to be this whole thing. And guess what? Tara wins the competition to get back in the house. And her journey was so incredible, from being someone who was like, oh my God, these kids are driving me crazy, to like, I'm a beast in here. I am I'm a winner threat. And she really was. So, I mean, that stuff gives me goosebumps. The things that you cannot script, that Big Brother Canada will always serve.
Speaking of can't script it, season 1, finale.
Yes.
Topaz votes for the wrong house guest.
So my vote is 150% secure. 150%.
Topaz has voted for Jillian.
Wait a minute. Wait, what?
Topaz.
Yeah?
We made the rules really, really clear.
No!
You vote?
No, wait a minute. No!
You vote for who you want to win. I'm so sorry, but the votes are final.
No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
There's nothing I can do.
No, are you guys kidding me? No, someone switched it. Don't do this to me.
No one switched it?
Don't do
These
this
are
to
the
me.
votes. I'm so sorry, Topaz.
No, someone switched it. Don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me.
Topaz, you have to take your seat. I'm so sorry.
No.
Topaz.
No, someone switched it. No, please don't do this to me. I swear.
I have to do Peter next. I'm so sorry, Topaz.
Don't do.
Topaz, the rules were clear. We can't go back and have everyone revote.
No. What's up?
Okay. I am so sorry, Topaz.
No, wait a minute. Who was
I am so sorry.
No, who was Okay.
We have it on tape.
We'll check it.
Okay.
No, I can't sit down. I cannot sit down right now.
Okay.
Why can't we just redo it?
Because we can't redo the entire vote. The rules were clear. Gosh.
Arissa, please don't do this.
It's not up to me. It's not my... All right, we're going to throw to commercial. We've got some last-minute controversy here, and we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Amazing,
okay, so we'll be back. Now, before the break, there was a little bit of controversy. Topaz wasn't sure if she had voted in the right way. We have the tape. This is Big Brother Canada. We tape everything. Roll it. Topaz, I am sorry, but we do have to continue with the vote.
What was going through your mind when this was live to tape?
Wait, Mark, were you there?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. I was just double checking because I'm like, I know you popped up from time to time at the studio. So what was going through my mind? Well, I describe it as feeling like my brain was melting. I felt like my brain was melting. We shoot our show live to tape. The finale was a 2-hour show, and it was our first finale, of course, right? And I just remember about halfway through being like, all right, We got this. And listen, a 2-hour show like that with a humongous for 500 people in there. There's so much choreography and like so many different cameras and control rooms. And I'm speaking into the house and I'm speaking to the people here and I'm speaking to the people there and then I'm speaking to the people at home. Like there's so many pieces of that. And I remember reading the votes and saying Topaz has voted for Jillian. And my face does not crack. If you watch it back, my face does not crack. But I was still like, what? Topaz was betrayed by Jillian. Topaz hates Jillian in the game. Gary is her best friend. Like, why wouldn't she have voted for him? And then sure enough, you watch it back and her hand creeps up. Wait, what? We watched Topaz go through the 5 stages of grief live in front of us. Of course, it was like really, squeezed down to make it into the show. But I remember, and the prompter was out, and like it was just like, thank God we have everything on camera. We can double check, we can make sure, and we can't. There's no take backs, unfortunately, with their votes, but it's so Canadian, right? Like
you can't script
Gary
that.
And Jillian and Topaz, like everyone was so gracious, shocked. So there's definitely some horror in there, but people really were classy about it. So that's what I do love about our show. Like, leave it to Canadians to stay classy.
Here's my last question for you. 2022. The Canadian Screen Awards, Big Brother Canada receives 5 nominations, including Best Reality TV Series and Best Host. Congrats for you.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Quote, a decade in, and I still get chills thinking of the magic we have the privilege of creating for you, our amazing fans, unquote. Being part of Big Brother Canada now for 10 seasons, 10 years, what do you think this journey has taught you, Arissa Cox, about you?
Ooh, that's a really good question. What has it taught me about me? I feel like it's taught me that I can rise to any challenge. Mm. And, in your life, in the journey of your life, you have those moments where you feel like you can't do it, or you're worried that you can't do it, or you said yes to something. You don't know if you could do it. Can you do it? Are you going to try? Are you going to, what if you fail? What if you fail in front of people? I think I have learned that I trust myself. And weirdly, even as a nerdy kid, like I was a real nerd, people are like, oh my God, I was nerdy in school. No, I actually was. Like I was not invited to like the hot parties. I had, free framed glasses. I did not grow up with money. I did not grow up with like a huge, incredible closet. And, I really, really loved school and I wanted to do my best. But even then I feel like I had trust in myself. And I think that's something my mom worked really, really hard to cultivate in me. And I'm working so hard to cultivate that in my daughter. But I think trust in myself that even if given a challenge that I don't expect, I'm going to rise to it. And I think that's, age is a funny thing, right? I'm 43 and I feel much older and I feel much younger at the same time. And that's because, you get used to being in your own skin. You care more about what you think and the people that you love more than the people that you don't know. That's really helpful growing up. But I mean, it really helps when you feel like you have support, and the support of our incredible team that puts this show on, the support of people like you, Mark, who really understand what we're trying to do here. And the support of the fans over the years is so meaningful. And we're always trying to, make that whole giant group proud every time we put this show out. So hopefully this year will be no different.
Well said. Arissa Cox, thanks for your time.
Oh my God, love you, Mark. Thanks again. I'll see you next year.
You look great, sparkling there in the sunshine.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll see you soon.
By the way, Big Brother Canada is nominated for 5 Canadian Screen Awards, including Best Reality TV Series and Best Host. You can catch the 2022 Canadian Screen Awards on Sunday, April 10th on CBC.
Hi, I'm Justin Ling, author of Missing from the Village. You're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
On season 9, she finished top 7 on a historic season that crowned North America's first black male winner. Up next, Tina Thistle reflects on her time playing Big Brother, her clothing line, Best Kind Apparel, and more.
I'm not a girly girl at all. I don't wear makeup. Jesus, don't even pluck my eyebrows. Hi, I'm Tina Thistle. I'm from Paradise, Newfoundland. I'm 42 years old, and I'm a graphic designer.
Hair is like a birch broom in the fits right now, look.
I have this way of making people feel comfortable around me. I must have "Talk to Me" written on my forehead.
What's up?
I walk past someone on a trail, and it's, "Hey, how you doing?"
Hello. Hi.
Or, "What are you at? How's it going? How's she cutting? Who knit ya?"
You're just being friendly. Newfoundland.
I live here with my partner Sherry of 20 years.
Hey Sherry, say hello to Canada. Hi Canada.
Some people say we're like two opposites. She's more of an introverted personality. I can be a little bit extroverted, but opposites attract, they say, right? I decided in my wisdom at 40 that I wanted to try hockey. If you can do something like that in your 40s, you can compete.
See you on the ice.
To live in the Big Brother Canada house, 42, middle-aged, I'm sure it's going to come with its challenges, but I am going to f***ing compete. The name of the game is Big Brother. I'm going to have a ball.
Seriously?
Tina, hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
First of all, what are you at?
What are you at? Good job, good job, good job. I am very proud right now. Thank you.
Well, I have to say thank you for being here to have your voice, your story be heard by the LGBT community and beyond. So thank you for that, Tina. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
In 2021, you were on Big Brother Canada Season 9. You were a house guest. Congrats on that, because you went deep into the game. But I want to start here with you. I want to start with Best Kind Apparel. This is your clothing line, I believe.
It is.
You've got hats and beanies. You've got coffee mugs. You've got T-shirts. You've got sweaters. Talk to me about this clothing line. What is Best Kind Apparel all about?
Well, in my time in the Big Brother house, it was very important to me to, just introduce the house guests and, Canada of, some of the fun phrases we have here in Newfoundland in our everyday language. And you know what? Quite a few of them caught on. And when I got out of the house, I had several inquiries about, where can I get something with this phrase on it. So I decided to launch Best Kind Apparel, where people can, get access to some of the fun phrases that we say on, mugs, shirts, and the whatnot.
So what kind of phrases are there? There's like, what are you at? What does that mean? What does that mean, first of all?
Well, what are you at is like, if you're having a conversation and someone says, what are you doing? What are you at today? Or what's going on? We just speed it up a bit and say, what are you at?
And some other phrases that you can get on a coffee mug or a T-shirt or a hoodie or something?
Yeah, we have Best Kind, Crooked as Sin, Yes By, just to name a couple.
So this didn't exist prior to you going into the house then?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
It didn't. So when I got out of the house, I wanted to give what the people wanted. So I created Best Kind Apparel.
Wow. And here we are today.
Absolutely.
So 2021, Big Brother Canada, you were on season 9.
Yeah.
First of all, how much of the game do you know?
I've been a fan of the Big Brother franchise for quite some time now. I've watched the US seasons, and, when Canada introduced their franchise way back when, I started watching, and, I just always felt this kind of connection to the show. It's such an amazing social experiment. It's always been a dream.
So would you say that you were just a fan, or would you say you were a super fan? How would you describe yourself?
I guess, I'm a fan of the show. I don't know that I'm a super fan in terms of, knowing all the ins and outs about it. But, I certainly know enough about it that I knew what I was getting myself into.
So the first part of the game last year in 2021, the house guests played in 2 teams at the beginning of the game. 7 house guests per team. There was Team Destiny, Team Defender. You and another house guest, Kiefer, the 2 of you were voted by Canada to be team leaders. And the 2 of you were actually the first 2 into the Big Brother Canada house. What did that mean to you to be voted by your country, by Canada, to be a team leader? What did that mean to you? What does that mean to you?
It was the most amazing feeling ever. I going through the process, I had no thought that I'd even get to the point of actually getting on the show, let alone being a part of, Canada's twist and a vote. So to know that, there were so many people behind myself and Kiefer to vote us into this position, it was totally amazing. I can't even put to words just the amount of joy and surprise and honor that had happened.
Mm. Did you feel any pressure because Canada voted you to be a team leader? Did you feel any pressure throughout the game to sort of live up to something?
There was definitely a certain level of pressure there. But, when you're in the house and in the game, you really kind of have to, I guess, keep the pressures at bay. It is a pressure cooker in that house. And, you really have to kind of focus on what's going on at the moment, and kind of keep your eyes peeled and your ears, kind of all over the place. So I tried to kind of keep some level of calmness throughout the game because, at times there's a lot of pressure.
So you were the team leader for Team Destiny.
Yeah.
Do you think that being in teams last year, do you think that helped your game at all, being part of a team? It's kind of weird because when I was leading up to going in the house, I had a different way in my head of how I was going to play and approach the game. So when it got announced that we were going in as team captains and this new twist, I really kind of had to adjust because we didn't have, I guess, that initial social gathering with the house guests as people were entering the house. So, they had time to kind of even create those initial immediate bonds. And myself and Kiefer were tucked away kind of watching all this. So, it really did kind of put a little bit of a twist on things. But in the same breath, it was the team that, being the oldest in the house,
last season, the oldest kind of tends to go home and early on. So it did help me in a way. It gave me that opportunity to create the bonds with the people who I wanted to work with. And it was good and bad. But that's the game of Big Brother.
So in season 9, there were a number of LGBT house guests. You had the lesbian, you had you. There was the gay, you had the transgender, you had the bisexual. I asked you this question in our exit interview originally, but I'm going to ask it again because why didn't the people that were part of the LGBT community in the house last year, why didn't you guys sort of come together to either have an understanding or an alliance to look after each other, to keep each other safe, if not be in an alliance? Why didn't that happen?
You know what? I know it. You know what? It should have happened. It should have happened.
I know.
It should have happened. I mean, what a group, hey? They're all such amazing people. And, hindsight 2020, you almost wish that something like that kind of happened. And it almost did when Josh was going through his day 3 scenario and everything kind of blew up then. It was kind of almost proposed then that, we should all kind of band together. But for whatever reason, I'm not too sure. It just didn't pan out. I guess we didn't have the time to kind of initially kind of put it together as what we should have. It would have been a phenomenal alliance.
Yeah, it would have been. Just speaking as a gay, it would have been great to see some gays coming together and trying to take it to the end.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You went deep in the game. You spent, I think, 48 days in the house. Yeah. You were part of a dominant alliance, the Sunsetters.
Yeah.
You were voted out week 7. You were the 3rd member of the jury. For yourself, what do you attribute your success to your gameplay last year?
I made connections with people. I really felt that through the conversations that I did have with people trusted me. Arissa called me the keeper of secrets. People knew that when they told me something, it wouldn't go any further. And I really believe that, to some degree that kind of helped my game to a certain level. It might have also hindered it to a certain level as well. But I wanted to stay true to myself. And, it's a caring, compassionate, trustworthy person. I guess I just kind of blended with all the personalities in the house. I was able to get along with everyone there.
Random question. Do you still play hockey?
I do. We play every Sunday night and I love it.
Wow. Because you started playing hockey, later on in life, didn't you?
I did. I was 40 years old when I decided to put on a pair of skates and give it a go.
And what position do you play?
Mostly center. I'll go to the left wing on occasion, but mostly I play center.
So in season 9 of Big Brother Canada, it was a historic season because it ended up crowning North America's first male Black winner in Tashawn. Yeah. You were part of that historic season. You are part of that historic season. For yourself personally, what does that mean to you?
Oh, that means everything. It really does. The cast in season 9 was absolutely phenomenal. Production did an amazing job with the selection. Every one of those people will always hold a special place in my heart. And to be a part of such a historical season, it's just that there's no words to describe. There really isn't. It's an amazing feeling.
So let's talk about some connections. You and a fellow house guest, Tara, the two of you were close friends in the house.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know, out of the house, did that friendship continue?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In last August, for my birthday, Tara came to Newfoundland. I got to show her a bit of our beautiful province. We had so much fun the week she was down. And, we've stayed in touch since. So yeah, it's definitely a connection, I think, that will continue on for a very long time.
So you were on Big Brother Canada Season 9. Season 10 has started.
Yep.
I'm interested to know, because you were in the house on a historic season. You know how the sausage is made, so to speak.
Yeah.
Are you still a fan of the show, knowing, the ins and outs of how it works? Are you still jazzed about it?
Oh, absolutely. I am so excited for season 10. They've got such a great cast, from the bios. And I just can't wait to watch it from a whole different perspective this year.
What are you going to be looking for in terms of gameplay from this new cast in season 10?
The person that gets to the end, typically needs to have, a bit of everything. The social, they need a couple of comps under their belt, and they kind of need to be able to think a few steps ahead. So yeah, I'm excited to see which one of these cast members is going to be the one to kind of lead the way to the end.
Do you watch the live feeds at all?
You know what? I was never a live feeder, but you know what? This year, I think I might have to tap into the live feeds on occasion.
Yeah. +2, it's free.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. So I think I'm definitely going to see what they're up to behind the scenes.
Yeah. I will say I am a live feedster. I love it.
Nice.
And I was watching you live last year.
Uh-oh.
Because for anyone listening, that's how the show is made, from the live feeds, and that's what's edited together to create the show. And it's amazing.
Yeah. It's really cool and strange at the same time. But it's definitely an experience.
Were you hooked on Big Brother in the US first, or in Canada? The Canadian
well, I
version?
watched, I watched right from season 1 of the US when it started. So when Canada introduced that they were bringing in their own franchise of the season, I was totally stoked about that. And you know what? Ever since, Canada each year just keeps getting better and better. It's phenomenal.
And for yourself in getting on the show, did you just apply once and you got on?
No, I went to a couple of casting calls when, pre-COVID. Then I'd sent in the year, I guess it would have been for season 8. I sent in a audio or a video audition, and I wasn't even going to apply for season 9 because of COVID and travel and just, everything was so heightened at the time. But I guess my OCD kicked in a little bit, and I'm like, you know what? I've done this now for the last couple of years. I got to do it. So I did it, and I'm glad I did.
And you made it through. In your prior applications, did you ever make it to finals or anything?
No. The season 9 was the first year that I was able to progress through the process.
Wow. And how was it for being in the house during a global pandemic?
It was, it was so strange at times because, occasionally you would think, like, you're in the house. So when you're in there, you're so focused on what's going on in the house at the time. And you really try and kind of turn off, I guess, that part of your brain, at least I did anyways, about what's going on outside the house, what's going on at home. So on occasion, there would be times where, reality would set in and it would be like, I really wonder what's going on at home, what's going on outside.
And you guys were tested in the house weekly, yes?
Yeah. No, not in the house.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
prior to going in, we were.
And when you were in the house, you weren't tested on a weekly basis or anything?
No, because we were in there then, right? We were kind of in our own bubble.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and to also know that when we got out of the house, I received a lot of messages about thank yous and for being a part of the show, because that particular season gave people something to watch and look forward to during the pandemic. So it was kind of it was nice to know and that I guess we helped in some way to entertain people.
Mm-hmm. You had a name in the house, Blue Line.
Yeah.
You had a nickname. Where did that come from?
So when, of course, my partner is a huge hockey fan. Me, however, I am not a hockey fan whatsoever. I don't watch it. I never knew the rules, anything. So at 40, when I decided to kind of attempt hockey, of course, you have to learn the rules. Well, I asked what a blue line was because I really didn't understand what all the lines were. Anyways, from there, one of the girls on the team started calling me Blue Line, and it just snowballed. And of course, when I told that story in the house, well, we all know how that went.
They started calling you Blue Line.
Absolutely.
And you just mentioned your partner. How long have you guys been together?
It will be 22 years in March.
Wow. And how did you guys meet?
On the softball field.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to play softball years ago, and we were great friends first, and then it just went from there.
Are you married?
No, we are not.
Okay.
But that's not to say it won't happen.
Because now it's legal, right?
Absolutely, that's right. It totally is. It just never happened yet. But
yeah.
I say yet.
Yeah. It's interesting. Growing up, I never thought of, being gay, like, being married. That's never going to happen. And for yourself, growing up, did you ever think that you would be able to legally marry?
No. It was never, it was never a discussed topic growing up, right?
Mm. Yeah, I hear you. So my last question for you.
Shoot.
Your time in the Big Brother Canada house. Did your time in that house reveal anything to you about yourself, about your character? Did you learn anything about yourself because of the time you spent in that house?
Good question. I think for me, it was a big, I guess it was a big reality check in terms of really appreciate what you have, your family, your friends, don't miss out on the opportunity to spend time with them. Because when you're in that house and you don't have a cell phone to connect to people, or you don't have your family and friends around you, it really is an eye opener in terms of, really focus on those important relationships and, tell the people who are close to you that you love them.
Mm. Well said. Tina Thistle, Blue Line, thank you for your time. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed our chat. It was great.
I'm not a girly girl at all. I don't wear makeup. Jesus, don't even pluck my eyebrows. Hi, I'm Tina Thistle. I'm from Paradise, Newfoundland. I'm 42 years old, and I'm a graphic designer.
Hair is like a birch broom in the fits right now, look.
I have this way of making people feel comfortable around me. I must have "talk to me" written on my forehead.
What's up?
I walk past someone on a trail and it's, "Hey, how you doing?"
Hello. Hi.
Or, "What are you at? How's it going? How's she cutting? Who needs ya?"
You're just being friendly. Newfoundland.
I live here with my partner Sherry of 20 years.
Hey Sherry, say hello to Canada.
Hi Canada.
Some people say we're like two opposites. She's more of an introverted personality. I can be a little bit extroverted, but opposites attract, they say, right? I decided in my wisdom at 40 that I wanted to try hockey. If you can do something like that in your 40s, you can compete.
See you on the ice.
To live in the Big Brother Canada house, 42, middle-aged, I'm sure it's going to come with its challenges, but I am going to f***ing compete. The name of the game is Big Brother. I'm going to have a ball.
Seriously?
For more on Tina Thistle's Newfoundland and Labrador-based clothing line, make sure you check out bestkindapparel.com.
Hi everyone, this is Mark Tewksbury, Olympic champion, leader, humanitarian. You're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
Up next, the first evicted house guest from Big Brother Canada Season 10. Hi, Melina.
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
First of all,
I'm here.
Yes, you are. First of all, a big congrats on making it on Season 10 of Big Brother Canada. Well done. How are you doing?
I'm good. Big milestone in Big Brother, and happy that I had the chance.
I'm interested to know, did you have a strategy going into Season 10?
I did. Essentially, it was hopefully to find one human who I can definitely link up to. And because at the end of the day, there's only 2 people, for the final 2. And then hopefully gather a small alliance on top of that and just crush it. But here we are.
Was playing Big Brother Canada, was it more challenging? Was it more difficult than you thought it would be?
Oh, yeah. On so many levels. It was so hard for me.
Was it hard for you to make connections?
Yeah, definitely was. They were there, but didn't quite hit the ball.
And I'm interested to know, do you think that there is a big alliance running the house? Who do you think is running the house right now?
Herman is definitely running the house right now, but hopefully he'll be in for a show. And then probably everyone else kind of attached to Herman at this moment. So, probably Kyle, Gino, T's doing a good job for at least what I saw yesterday.
And being part of Big Brother Canada's Season 10, that's a milestone. What was for yourself going into this game, into this season, what was the most challenging part for you?
Oh, honestly, I think all aspects of that show was challenging. I really thought I was going to do really well on comps, and I didn't. It was all very, very overwhelming.
And looking back now, where you are right now, in terms of your gameplay, do you think you would do anything differently?
I guess.
Looking back.
I guess I would just force myself to chat a little bit more. Betty was kind of the same as me. And just in sense of oh man, I gotta go chat right now. You know what I mean? I should be. And for me, I just chose not to. I'd rather just sit here,
And why was it so challenging for you to get to know people? Because you're in this situation. You're in a competition.
I know.
Girl, why didn't you work it?
I don't know what is wrong with me. Honestly, I don't put myself in these situations, obviously, but, I don't go out. I don't choose to go meet new people. I'm very content with my life at home. And just, I know the game, and I knew what I had to do, but it was just why? Why do I have to do this, to compete in the game? It was naive of me.
And so my last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
For yourself, season 10, what was the best part for you being part of this milestone season?
I mean, honestly, I think just like being able to be on there, it was really, really cool experience. You know, regardless of what happened, I was still there, and all of this is really fun. And yeah, that's what I'm taking out of that.
Well said, well said. I have to say, well said, well done, well played. You made it on, girl.
I made it on. Could have played harder, but that's okay. There's going to be another time, right? Hopefully.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mike.
By the way, Big Brother Canada airs on Global TV Mondays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, and on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern, and next day streaming on BigBrotherCanada.ca.
Hi, I'm singer-songwriter Steve Grand. You're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
Hi, my name is Joanne Vanicola, and I'm an actor and a writer, and I was first on Rainbow Country with Mark Tara on discussing the massacre at Pulse Club in Orlando. I realized how important it was for our community to have a radio station, specifically for our issues, to talk about people in the LGBTQ community and to provide an outlet for our stories, to discuss our politics, culture, and give voice to the issues that matter to us, and of course our artists and the things that we do globally, and talk about culture. And without people like Mark Tara providing a space for this with a radio show like this, then we wouldn't have that voice. So support, tune in. Thank you.
And just like that, this little gay journey through Rainbow Country has come to an end. For the full 2-hour episode, head over to marktara.com, where everything is connected, and hit the archives banner. Don't forget to keep up to date with the show. Follow me on socials at Mark Tara. The podcast is available on all major platforms, including audible.com and iHeartRadio. Finally, I want to take this time to thank you for taking your time to be with me. Remember, stay well and stay safe.
Hi, this is Police Constable Danielle Botno, also known as LGBT Cop, and you're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.